Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were in action at the WWE Bad Blood 2024 Premium Live event. The Archer of Infamy locked horns with his former Judgment Day stablemate, Finn Balor, who betrayed him at SummerSlam 2024 and cost him his World Heavyweight Championship. On the other hand, Mommy faced Liv Morgan in a Women's World Championship match, with Dominic Mysterio suspended above the ring in a shark cage. The match ended shockingly when Raquel Rodriguez made her return and overpowered Ripley, hitting the latter with a Tajana bomb. Although the match ended in a disqualification, Morgan retained her title. During the Bad Blood 2024 post-show press conference, Damian Priest reacted to Raquel Rodriguez's comeback, which cost Rhea her title match. The Archer of Infamy revealed that they knew the Judgment Day would have some sort of backup, but the return of the 33-year-old star was a shocker. Priest also said that Mommy is going to rip Liv Morgan and company apart. Look, we knew something was going to be up. There was no way this event was going to go down without the Judgment Day trying to do something. We were caught by surprise by Raquel's return. I wasn't expecting that one. But I can only imagine what Rhea is going to do to these people. I don't feel bad. I have no sympathy for them. Rhea Ripley is gonna rip them apart, Damian Priest said. 10:23 to 10:52. In the same interview, Priest confirmed that moving forward, he and Rhea Ripley will part ways and focus on their singles career instead of forming their own version of the Judgment Day or any other stable. We are now heading toward the Crown Jewel 2024 Premium Live event, and it seems like fans will no longer see the Terror Twins together. It will be interesting to see how Triple H will book the duo as singles superstars. Damian Priest had always been a man of few words, but when he returned to WWE at Bad Blood, the silence that followed was deafening. The ominous chants from the crowd, the flash of pyrotechnics, and the sheer shock on the faces of the WWE Universe encapsulated the magnitude of his return. Priest, clad in his signature leather jacket with a menacing glare, walked down the ramp with purpose, eyes locked on the center of the ring where the Judgment Day stood. It had been months since Priest was last seen. His sudden disappearance had sparked rumors of internal strife within the Judgment Day, especially with rising tensions between him and the ever-dominant Rhea Ripley. Priest had been sidelined after a brutal injury sustained in a ladder match, leaving his future uncertain. But here he was, back under the glaring spotlight, looking more dangerous than ever. The crowd roared as Priest climbed into the ring, standing face-to-face with Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Rhea Ripley. There was a palpable tension in the air. Ripley, ever the calculating leader, stared him down. But before any words could be exchanged, Priest grabbed the mic. "I've been watching, waiting," Priest began, his voice low, but filled with intensity. "The last few months, I had a lot of time to think. And what I realized is that the Judgment Day is stronger now, stronger because of what we are willing to do to anyone who gets in our way. We break them. We destroy them. We rip them apart." His eyes flickered to Rhea Ripley, who stood with her arms crossed, unbothered by Priest's apparent praise. But there was something in his tone that felt unfinished, as if there was more to be said about his former ally. "The blood we've spilled, the pain we've caused, it's only the beginning," Priest continued. "And while I was gone, I saw what she was doing. Rhea Ripley, the most dominant force in WWE today. They may call her the Eradicator, but I call her something else, the Destroyer of Egos. Anyone who crosses her gets ripped apart, piece by piece. Just look at what she's done to Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, and the rest. No one is safe from her wrath." Ripley, standing just a foot away from him, raised an eyebrow at his comments. It was unclear whether Priest was genuinely complimenting her or subtly hinting at a deeper rift that had been growing between them. The crowd, sensing the tension, began to murmur. Priest smirked, stepping closer to Ripley. "But there's one thing I know better than anyone, and it's that every empire has cracks. And when the cracks start to form, that's when everything falls apart." Before Ripley could respond, Finn Balor grabbed the mic enough with the riddles, "Damian, If you have something to say, say it. Or are you here to remind us why you disappeared in the first place? Priest's smirk faded. I didn't disappear, Finn. I was taken out. Taken out because I was willing to do whatever it took to put Judgment Day on top. I was willing to bleed for this group. And now, I'm back. But I'm not here to sit in the background. Ripley finally spoke, her voice cold and calculated. You think you're still in a position to demand anything? You were gone. We survived without you. We thrived. So, what makes you think we need you now? Priest turned his attention fully to Ripley, locking eyes with her. Because the moment you think you don't need me is the moment you lose everything. Rhea, you're unstoppable, I won't deny that. But sooner or later, someone's going to figure out how to stop you. And when they do, I'll be the only one standing between you and destruction. Ripley's gaze didn't waver. If someone tries, I'll rip them apart. It's what I do. A brief silence followed her words, the tension between the two former allies thick enough to cut with a knife. Priest took a deep breath, seemingly weighing his next words carefully. I'm not here to fight you, Rhea, Priest finally said, his tone softer but no less intense. I'm here to stand by you, to ensure that no one, man or woman, can tear this group apart. But understand this, the moment I feel like you're losing control, I won't hesitate to take over. The Judgment Day was built on domination, and if you can't handle it, I will. The crowd erupted into a mix of cheers and boos, the weight of Priest's words sinking in. This was no longer the loyal soldier of Judgment Day speaking. This was a man who had seen what happens when leaders falter, and he was preparing to step in if Ripley showed any signs of weakness. Ripley, however, wasn't one to back down. She stepped right into Priest's space, their faces inches apart. Try me, Damian. Try and take control, and see what happens. You think you're the only one who can lead this group? You think I don't know what you're doing? You've always wanted to be the top dog, but let me make one thing clear, you're still in my kingdom. For a moment, it seemed like a brawl might break out. The crowd was on the edge of their seats, waiting for one of them to throw the first punch. But instead, Priest backed off, raising his hands in mock surrender. We'll see, Rhea. We'll see. Finn Balor, sensing the escalating tension, stepped between the two. All right, enough of this. We're Judgment Day. We're supposed to be unstoppable together, not tearing each other apart. Let's remember what we came here to do, destroy everyone else. Dominic Mysterio nodded, but his eyes darted nervously between Priest and Ripley. It was clear even he could sense the brewing storm within their ranks. Priest gave one last glance at Ripley before turning to leave the ring. I'm back, and I'm not going anywhere. You can trust that. As his music hit, Priest walked up the ramp, leaving the Judgment Day standing in the ring, unsure of what his return truly meant for their future. Rhea Ripley, still staring after him, smirked. Let them come, she muttered under her breath. I'll rip them apart. But as the lights dimmed and the show went off the air, one thing was certain, Damian Priest's return had shaken the very foundation of the Judgment Day, and the cracks he warned of were already starting to form.